at a physio level if they don't care if they walk or not, you see? But if they've got something to live for, they will care if they walk. You see, put the spirit first and do something that benefits that spirit for the person, and then they will want to do the other things that are eating, sleeping, taking care of their physical self. Right, okay, for the architects and everyone in the room, the building form has to allow direct access, direct visual connection. We know about physical access. You have to design physically so that people in wheelchairs and people on frames and so forth can maneuver. But how about visual access? Because if you're a carer inside and you're doing something with a resident and Joe goes outside, you need to be able to see him. You need to be able to see where he's going and what he's doing. Not because you're monitoring him, but because you're keeping a mind's eye, okay? And if you can't see the garden because half of it is wrapped around the back of the building, that door will be locked. This is a problem that you can solve at the design stage. Locate outside spaces for shelter, sun, and thermal comfort. Now, Juice was just talking about thermal comfort indoors, but thermal comfort is something that we all need, and as you become older and more frail, and if you have dementia, you might not have the same awareness of cold and warm as you do before your dementia develops. So think about the building, think about the warm space and how the sunlight affects it, how it might be a comfortable place to sit, comfortable place to go out and eat, different times of the day. Because if it's a brilliant, warm, comfortable spot between 6 in the morning and 8 in the morning, and then it's in the shade, by the time that person's up and out, you've missed the opportunity, you see? Something on every level. We've talked about balconies, didn't we, June? Yes, something on every level. There's no reason why, if you're at the design stage of a building and you're thinking through what you want it to be like, that you can't get something on every level. Now, I know it's important to bring people downstairs and take them out onto the ground level, but there's often times when that just doesn't work for a variety of reasons. But if you have something upstairs that person can engage freely on their own, then that's a benefit. They can also come down with someone, but they can go out independently. Sheltered covered areas. How important is this? It's really important when you step out of that building that you're not just stepping out into the great yonder, that you feel a bit more comfortable because the building comes with you for a minute. And then you can step beyond that porch or that overhang into the garden proper. If you've got a seating area further down in the garden, it's not connected to the building, put a roof over that too, because there's nothing quite uncomfortable as sitting on wet furniture. And in England, believe it or not, and Scotland and the UK, and I've heard that your weather here hasn't been that great until we showed up. Just a hunch. Okay. Separate spaces to accommodate different needs. Now, how long does the process take from thinking about you want to build a building, getting through planning permission, getting your funding together, getting your architects and everybody on board, building it, commissioning it, and your first resident comes in? How long does it take here? 15 years. 15 years? Really? Okay, anyone's got a longer time frame than that? It took you longer than 15 years. But you see, there's quite a span there. And it's very difficult when you're thinking about who your residents are going to be, because 9 times out of 10, by the time you open the doors, your residents are going to not be that first group of people who you thought it was going to be. This is a situation in this home where I've been doing research and involved with training of the staff and also renovated the gardens. For the last 18 months, I've been working intensely in this home. And when it first was built, it was all going to be residential dementia care. Then what happened? The economy happened, right? There was no money, people weren't moving into residential care in the community, they couldn't sell the bungalow, mom can't come, et cetera, et cetera. Now, they have an NHS contract and they have people with dementia and distressed behavior. Really wide spectrum of people with dementia with quite different levels of need. They had one big garden in the middle. Well, everyone's not going to be able to use that. And I think that a space that's made to suit everybody actually suits nobody well. Do you agree? See that head's nodding. Yes. So what I did was I divided it up. And now we have smaller spaces, but they're really well used. And they're very connected to the groups of residents and the staff as well, who use that particular space, so they've been able to take ownership over that. But having said that, I don't advocate fences that you can't see through. I don't advocate barricades, because that's going to make a space feel small. If I lock that door, say that door's locked, you're not going to go to lunch, you're not even going to go to the toilet till 4 o'clock, the anxiety level in this room will just ratchet up and up and up. You'll start killing each other. It'll be awful, right? But if that door's unlocked, even if it's closed, if it's unlocked, fine, I can go out anytime I want to. You see, psychologically, it's different. If you can have a trellis and you can see through the trellis, you're going to be much more comfortable wherever you are. But if you've got a fence that's bordered, you can't see through it, automatically you're going to feel you're locked in. Psychological. So I like to create fences and trellises and things that are permeable, visually permeable, but also secure if you need to maintain 2 separate spaces.